I was perusing through the internet, as I do, and Secret London, who are always forever doing sponsored posts, they came up for me, and London has been rated a top city in the world. I feel like this is... I think it's a nonsense.
According to who? Who? Just Secret London's decided that.
I think they usually do it on like surveys, but whoever is surveyed, and I haven't been surveyed. Have any of you two been surveyed?
Never. I've never been surveyed for anything ever.
Any surveys that have been done.
Exactly.
On anything.
Exactly. I think that London, and we live in London, I can't see how this is top ranked at all.
No.
Like just going off of us being out on Sunday and trying to get a meal in central London and park.
Yeah.
Literally in Tottenham Court Road. How long did that take us?
About
Too long.
3 hours. Okay, 40 minutes.
No, hang on.
It was about an hour.
It was about an hour.
Yeah.
An hour in the end. That was disgusting.
Just to do parking.
Parking and then actually find somewhere
to
It
eat.
was up and down, yeah.
Wow.
How many restaurants did we walk past and they were closed?
Yeah.
Oh, and it was at
kitchens
what was the
closed.
time? 11 o'clock. This is London, supposed to be the biggest, baddest city, but yet you can't get food at 11. All the kitchens were closed.
That's not good enough. I can't see. If you're a tourist and you're out and you're literally in what they're saying is a major city, I feel like I should be able to go and find a 24-hour place.
Absolutely.
And it take me 10 minutes to find it.
Not even if you're a tourist. Do you know
As
what I
a
mean?
Londoner.
As a Londoner, we should be able to do, especially in central London. It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make
It
sense.
really doesn't. So yeah, I'm like, obviously I'm proud to be a Londoner. I love being a Londoner and all of that good stuff. But I was just like, this is a reach. We're not the best in the world. No, seriously. No, we definitely need to be cleaner as well, kind of thing.
you.
In certain areas, it's a bit murky. Do you know what I mean? Like, there shouldn't be potholes in our major roads. That shouldn't be happening either.
Precisely.
Like, it's just like, there's just some basic things that we don't have right.
Yeah.
Like, even just like, not all areas have cycle lanes. Like, what the hell is that about? We can't be a top ranking city if we haven't got that sorted. Look at our tube. Like, do you know what I mean?
Filthy.
It's disgusting.
Yes.
It's so disgusting.
Rotty.
Like, so yeah. I just like, no. I was just like, who bought this? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
The city doesn't have a clean ethic, which I don't understand. I find it very, very disgusting.
Yeah.
When we were in New York last, and I think it was so late we managed to find that restaurant just on the street, just walking by. We found a nice place to eat.
Popping
In
down
America,
the road.
for all its flaws, you can get food 24 hours and some decent food at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They fed us really well.
Yeah.
I think you would struggle to find a 24-hour place that wasn't like standard diner food here. Like you can't be like, oh, actually, I just fancy a bit of Japanese.
Yeah.
And you could find somewhere that was open 24 hours. We just don't do... You can't even get... I couldn't even get home on the tube.
I know,
yeah,
like
you
transport.
said.
That's the thing. Like,
It's wild.
Crazy.
What happened to the 24-hour tube? When did that just... I know they started it, then they stopped it, but why? Who asked them to stop it?
Wait, they stopped that?
Yeah.
Because where's the 24-hour tube?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I know.
it wasn't all...
It wasn't all lines. It was Victoria
Station,
line.
yeah.
I think it was Northern line.
I don't know why I'm
Central.
I'm
No,
outraged.
but it's ridiculous. Like, why would you...
What are we paying for?
Yeah, that part.
That's the question.
Because
You
it's
know
so
what I mean?
expensive right now. We were talking
Oh my
on our
God.
live the other day about bus fare being what, 10p? We made
Oh,
back
no,
in the day?
guys.
It was
hold on.
25
What's happened?
for
Have we
me.
got it all wrong?
I think so.
Are we lying?
Yeah, I think
Which
so.
tube?
I think we made a mistake. The night tube is currently running on the Central, Jubilee, Northern, Piccadilly and Victoria lines.
No, okay. So this was the thing. They piloted it and it did go for longer. It's now only on a Friday and a Saturday night.
Right.
That is wild.
That is absolutely wild.
Like, it's just on a
Especially-
Friday and a Saturday.
Especially because London no longer adheres to the weekend is the weekend. Now, any day, because there's traffic all day, every day. There's not one day, like back in the day, it used to be Sundays lock off. Nothing's going on. These roads are clean and clear. You could zoom forever. Nowadays, any day is any day. So they can't, well, how do they know that? I mean, obviously, maybe they've done surveys and seen where the footfall is.
No, it's needed.
But it's needed for the, it's just needed.
If you want to be a real city
City.
where people are like, oh, we're going to come and experience it, why is it just a Friday and a Saturday that you can actually get, 5 tube lines that will run for 24 hours? That is not good enough.
That's not.
and
At all.
And yet they don't want us to be in cars. because they're charging drivers, and then you don't make it available for people to get the tube.
Yeah.
Because that's like the quickest way to get home, obviously, and sitting in traffic.
I love my city, but I hate my city at the same time.
Do you love London?
Yeah, I love.
No, I'm just wondering. I'm just asking. Like, do you love London?
I love London in the summer. I love London in the summer. On a hot day, I can't even say the summer because that
On
makes
a summer, a summer day.
on a hot day, I love London. On a rainy day, I cannot stand London at all, or a snowy day because transport doesn't run.
It shuts down.
But yeah, I mean, as cities go, it's okay. I think I could live in Brooklyn. I found that better, and it felt like London.
Yeah.
It's not the London that I remember of old.
No, I do like Brooklyn, but I think there's just something about the energy of London. Like, do you know what I mean? All the different types of people, the different types of cuisine, what you can do. Something just pops up anywhere. Like, I just love the well, I don't know, not on a Sunday night, but the fast-pacedness of it all. And there's just like an energy. Like, when you go to other cities, you just don't get the same type.
I don't know. There's nothing that's catered to, and I know we're from a smaller community within a community, so maybe it is harder to find somewhere to chill out and hang out. So I think there's limitations on our experiences, and then you have to have money to then go into that next phase of like. Okay.
I do think that that's across the board, though.
Yeah, no,
because you can't go out and just. That is a problem.
Worldwide.
I think in Western society, like, do you know what I mean? Like, where can you actually go where you don't have to pay? Like, to go out,
is that what you was
to
referring
actually
to?
have
not necessarily
friends,
just to pay, but just
to go out with friends.
Yeah.
You have to pay, like, everywhere across the board. So there is there's nowhere to just chill. There's nowhere to just, like, you could go to a park or or something, like, do you know what I mean? You can't even do that now. It's just
They close early. It's hard. Why I say like I miss London of old is I miss our nightlife.
yeah.
I think our nightlife was
lacking.
unrivaled.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it was so fun. And if you come to the West End now, it's shit.
Yeah.
We used to have not a strip like as if you're in Ibiza or Tenerife. The strip was actually full of really good clubs.
Yeah.
Like, you could just head to Oxford Street, Tottenham Court Road, Gas Club, or you're in Victoria, SW1, or you just go over and you're in Vauxhall and you could be at Coliseum. We don't have a run of clubs. Like, if we're like, on a Saturday, and we did this, we were out on a Saturday in Angel, where could we go? We're all stumped. The only place that we could go to was Fabric. Who wants to listen to dance music all night? And even in Soho, it's actually like a wild, like, before you would be like, I could go to the city. Every late night London bar would have a club night on in there. That doesn't exist anymore. But we're missing out. It's terrible.
I would love to understand the reason, because so many clubs have closed down. So many.
They're just taking the licenses away, aren't they? I don't know why.
What do they want from? What do you lot want from us? You're closing shutting down all these venues. What do you want your citizens to do by way
at home.
I understand and is that literally what it is? You want to create people that want to stay at home.
They want them to have babies.
I don't even know what they're after.
They want to kill our fun outside, so we stay inside and fuck and create life.
Is it? Do you think?
Yeah, because then we're going to be bored.
I think there's a whole conspiracy. Like, I think there's a whole conspiracy.
But people need to meet a partner, no?
Yeah, there's that.
Towards me. But they'll do it in other ways. So, like, you're forced to
sleep together.
Anyway.
Where are they meeting from?
Also, there's that because...
You know what I saw today? Sorry.
No, go on.
Very random, a bit left, yeah. I saw a headline pop up on my phone. I didn't read the article, but it was just like, the UK needs to consider its cousin marriage laws, apparently. Like, what the fuck is going on? Exactly.
What, to readdress it?
Yeah, I was just like, what is going on? So apparently one country in Europe has, like, just revised them so cousins are not allowed to get married and stuff. And apparently it's not the same like in the UK. So I was just like, this is a conspiracy. They want to make as many babies as possible.
Regardless of what happens.
Yeah. So they're pushing back on the...
I think I saw...
Wow. Okay.
a South Asian country. I don't want to say the wrong South Asian country. I saw something about them reducing their marriage laws, but reducing their marriage laws from 16 to younger or something like that.
Oh, God.
Really? Like taking down the age?
Really?
Oh my God.
Wild. But yeah, I mean, you're making us be isolated solo people that don't want to talk to human beings, but yet you want us to create babies. Make it make sense. Wouldn't you think that you'd open all the clubs, lower the license fees, so everyone goes out, gets drunk, and has one night stands and has babies? If you really want to, do you know what I mean? That's the worst case
At least
scenario.
just have people sociable. There are so many young people now that are like, they don't know how to socialize.
Interact.
And also, you meet people in scenes. Like, having a club scene, there are people that I know purely from Jungle Days.
Exactly.
They're like jungle friends. Then there's like garage raves. Like,
All up.
these young ones now don't have any type of a subculture scene other than online. That's not healthy.
Exactly. And you want them to figure it out. Come on, guys, rethink your plan, master plan.
I don't know what type of humans they're creating, but open the clubs back up again.
Yeah. let's be aunties in the room.
Oh God,
Youngest, but why are they there?
They're not even going out. They don't even know what it is. They're going
It's
to
not even for
restaurants.
them. It's a dying art. Raving is a dying art.
Imagine.
Yeah.
They're not used to it at all. It's
imagine.
like, why would we?
They feel uncomfortable. They can't even wear heels.
You know, like, all that. Because even like when we were at Leave for Bees thing, the way that when it finished, everyone went out, there's no way I would have left. I would have been still trying, you know what I mean? There was a hang-around culture.
But that was us. They were our age in there. I've seen bare uncles and aunties. Yeah. It was 10. We were like, okay, thanks.
Everyone was like,
thank you and bye.
Thank you, bye. Big up Lethal, that was amazing.
That was a good night. It was just a shame that it couldn't carry on. There ain't even a tinsel town.
There wasn't
It's
even
like,
an art.
Yeah.
Exactly. There is
Wait, is there Tinseltown? Is it
It's
gone?
gone.
No, it's
Yeah,
gone.
that's shut down. For a while.
Really?
yeah.
That used to be
Oh
the
my
spot.
God. Yeah. I've got random.
That's literally an office now. Like everything gets turned into an office.
And we're now, and work from home is a thing, but yet there's offices.
It's ridiculous.
spaces.
Oh, they're trying to get people back in the
They
office,
are.
though, innit?
I'm
So, yeah.
scared.
They need to do it all. If you're going to have people in an office, then you need bars in the
Yeah.
area for them to go and have their after office drinks.
After Stacey at work's been getting on their nerves, they need to drink away their office pain. Do you know what I mean?
Hey guys, we got goodies.
Yeah.
We got some lovely things from Lush because they love us.
Because they're lushly.
Should I say what I've got?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So I kind of got some like hair stuff. So I've got like this. They've kind of done it on the LOC method, which is really cool. Also, I didn't know Lush done black hair care either.
precisely.
Yeah, so I was really surprised.
I feel like a lot of people wouldn't know that Lush actually do that because from when it launched, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Was it like 10 years? And like the lock method, what is that again? Is that lotion?
Liquid, oil, conditioner, I think, or
Cream?
Yeah, that's it.
Liquid, oil, cream. I think that is the method I use.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I do LCO. So liquid, cream, then oil.
Okay. Do you do a...
Wash my hair and condition it. Liquid and conditioner.
There
and
you
then
go.
cream. LCC.
This is
But yeah, me and my daughter have used Lush Afro hair products. It was and it was a really nice experience. I think it was I believe there was a black woman or a black team that worked specifically on curating products that really spoke to Afro hair at the time, and it was a big thing, and it was like really got used. There was like a whole line, a whole system to use. So yeah, big up Lush for even having that conversation and allowing. All right, guys, welcome to Your Aunties Could Never. I'm Auntie AK, the auntie of all aunties, and I am here with.
I am Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
And I'm all things sugar and shade Sade.
Hey! Guys, guess what? There's limited time to buy your tickets for
Kempire After Dark. Kempire is going to be in London on the 8th of December. And what's happening, Sade? What we doing?
We, as in Nana and I, as in LABRISH, are joining him on stage. Oh my God! At Neon 194 in Piccadilly. So, if you see this is your sign. Get your ticket now. Do not miss out. It's going to be a night to remember.
Night to remember. Get ready.
Oh, gosh.
Tonight. They're gonna make it a night to remember. Ding. You're lucky. I was gonna go. Big up Auntie Farah. She'll be back soon. Also, guys, don't forget to
Boop the like button. 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 Boop the like button.
boop it.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to our membership. When you subscribe to our membership, you get lots more aunties, extra aunties as you were. How much does that extra auntie-dom cost?
It costs $1.99.
$1.99.
Cheaper than bag of chips.
Darling. Whatever. Also, if you're listening, if you like to listen to our dulcet tones on the podcast airwaves, Apple, Spotify, and all the other good places, we need you to leave comments. However, there's a rule to the comments.
Yes, we only want 5 stars and 5 stars only. If not, just return to sender. Thank you.
One day there'll be lightning coming out of my fingers.
It's not going to happen.
When the special effects team joins us. We need your membership to pay for the special effects team.
There's that too.
Excuse me. I've got a bit of a cough. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right, so enemy of progress time, guys. There's lots of enemies out there. So gird your loins, protect your neck. Wavy Yute's been out in the street speaking. If you don't know who Wavy Yute is, she's a young white lady called Claudia, who's a content creator. Her moniker, as I said, is Wavy Yute. I don't know where she got that name from, but that is her name. And she tweeted something about the Right Honourable Kemi Badenoch, an MP that no one's a fan of. She tweeted that as a black woman, Kemi Badenoch should be ashamed. And when she tweeted this tweet, it got picked up by the social media platforms and everyone started backlashing. We had things like people saying, it's giving, my man's black, I can relate, chill. Oh. Another one said, tell the white girl Yardi, we do not need her to speak on behalf of us. Someone else said, babe, the heart was in the right place, but it's not your place. And someone else said, as a woman that is not black, what does she know to make such a statement? Guys, how do you feel?
As a black woman, Kemi Badenoch should be ashamed. That's what she tweeted.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I was more interested in her apology. She apologized.
I want to know how you initially felt.
I saw the apology first, so
Okay.
I didn't have that initial reaction.
I'd initially reacting to what she put out, I would be like, okay, cool. And I understand why she would say this because black is a political term. And I don't know that Kemi Badenoch actually identifies as a black woman, but if she did, I think what she's saying is fair because what she purports to support and being the head of the Conservative Party, that goes against black people. So I think it's fair for her to say that.
Well, while you think it's fair, she felt attacked by the backlash and she said, I apologise. She stands by what she said, however, but she apologises and she thinks she's an idiot.
Deleted the tweet because I realised I was an idiot, right? I stand by my point. I think that as Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the Conservative Party, who is so against maternity rights and so against immigration, as a Nigerian immigrant black woman, I think she should be ashamed of what she's doing. However, I think it's the right message, and as everyone is saying, wrong messenger because I am white. I'm a white woman. I shouldn't be fucking commenting on black women's business. However, I was just looking at it from a political standpoint, and then when everyone did not look at it from the way I was looking at it, I just deleted the tweet because I was like, do you know what? Screw it. Now the Shade Borough's posted it, so if you're coming there from here, this is my explanation. I apologise, I hold my hands up, I was an idiot, I was wrong, and I was inconsiderate.
I thought it was interesting. I was just like, my thing was just like, oh, she apologised, she understands that right message, wrong messenger, and she understood that. And I thought, okay, cool, I can let her off.
Okay.
Because I feel like she understood what the issue was, what was wrong with her saying that, and how that can come across to people. Yes, I thought, okay, cool. As a first offence, that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
I don't see it as an offence. But what do you think?
Well, I felt like I understood the backlash. I think when you're going to speak on these things and you're not of the community, you're not a black woman, let's keep it real, you're not a black woman, it's a bit difficult for you to project and say, as a black woman, she should be ashamed, because there are actually black women who align with what Kemi, wherever you feel, there are black women who have defended Kemi, who align with Kemi's reasoning, not just black women, but we're speaking about black women. So it's a bit, I don't know as a white woman that you can say those particular words. You can have an opinion on Kemi because her rules and regulations or whatever she puts forward in the Conservative manifesto, whatever she puts forward, and if she ushers through any kind of legal, whatever, you know what I'm saying, that affects everybody. So white women, black women, wherever you're from, that affects everybody. So you can have an opinion on what you feel about Kemi, but just don't need to bring her race into it. You can't speak for us about whether she should be ashamed as a black woman because you don't know her. You don't have the right to speak on that. You can speak on what you don't like about Kemi, and that's it. Even if you've sat in a room with black women and heard all the black women, all your black friends saying, yeah, oh my God, she should be ashamed. That's not for you to speak on because you will be the messenger that's shot. And I just don't think you can speak on behalf of black women for any black woman in that opinion. So the apology was right. Recognise your place. Don't shut up. She also stood by what she said. Fair dues.
I don't like that sentiment. This is the thing. I think what I have a problem with is people saying you can't talk on this because you're not of that. If it's, to me, it doesn't sit right that I could speak about DJ Khaled being a Palestinian and not talking on what's going on in Palestine. And I can make that direct correlation. As a Palestinian man in your position, you should be talking about Palestine. And then people would be like, no, you can't talk about it because you're not Palestinian as well. I can talk about it.
I understand.
So that's the thing where, yeah, you may get a backlash, but I'm not going to apologise because I'm pointing out this is an identity that you have. You state that this is who you are. Why should I not be able to talk about it? Why should she not be able to talk about a black woman who is in a position who supports things that harm black people? As a white woman, why should she not be able to do that? I
think that in the current climate, that she just mindful of her words. It doesn't take anything away from what she's saying if she just doesn't mention it. It doesn't mean, I don't think that means anything. I don't think it matters. Like, there's no damage done if she doesn't say, Kemi, as a black woman, you should be ashamed. And if she says all the things, I don't like your policies, I don't like what you stand for, you're not helpful to anybody, you're bringing us down with whatever policies you put forward, there's nothing, she can say all the things she wants. And it doesn't have to have, race doesn't have to come into it. It doesn't have to.
It was given performative. That's the thing. That's why I took it. I was just like, that statement is a bit performative. Something tells me, I don't know, I'm assuming here, that she might be close to the culture in some sort of way.
Wavy.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and this
she's
is
in black spaces.
This is a popular way of phrasing things. Do you know what I mean? When you're talking about black people in positions of power that do not follow the normal status quo. Do you know what I mean? This is a very popular way to say it. And also, it's also a rage baity, phrase that people use. Like even the girl that we talked about last week as a black woman. Do you know what I mean? It's the very kind of like buzzy phrase of these types of attention-seeking statements that people put out. So yeah, it's given performative. So no.
And also when we talk about gatekeeping, we've had this conversation about gatekeeping, and we unfortunately are in a position where people feel so free to speak on things, and then they're just allowed to, and we welcome everybody to the barbecue, and then they get too comfortable, then they have to get ejected, and then it's like, then they like, oh, why? But I think there needs to be a little bit of a barrier to entry. You can talk on Kemi, you can share your opinions. You don't need to bring race into it, unless you're like a professor of race and you've got some things to back up. I just think there has to be some.
I firmly disagree with. I don't like it.
Not professor,
because it feels like, you know what it is, and we don't hold the same position. Power as them, but you never know how the world is going to go. But in the same way, you can't really talk on Zionists and it's like they can shut you down for that. I don't like when people police what people can say. You can weather the backlash, but you shouldn't lose things because you're criticising somebody else. And I think that the same with Kemi. She isn't the standard black woman. She is the leader of a party. She could be the prime minister. I think she should be able to speak on her. I understand. I get your point. It's just like, why can't she say black?
I just don't think it takes anything away from her if she doesn't say black. And we could have a conversation, and maybe in a closed space, me and her could talk about it, and she could say, as a black woman, she could possibly say that to me in a conversation that's rationalised. As a tweet that goes out in the world, you need to think a bit more about who you are, the position of the world, and be careful about the community, because no matter what we in this room think about Kemi, there are people that actually don't feel ashamed about what she's saying, who she is. She might not feel ashamed about, whatever. But there are people that aren't ashamed of her. So you're speaking on it's just something that you I say can't. She could do what she wants, and she can weather the storm, as you said. And if she's got the balls for it, the tits for it, then go forth and deal with it. That's also freedom of speech. You can do what you want. But I'm just saying that if you want to navigate this space and have these commentary, you don't lose anything by not saying black.
Okay. I get it. I get what you're saying.
I agree with you, but I don't want to say anything. We don't have the same position on these things, to be honest. If you're outside the culture, don't speak on it. It's simple for me.
Yeah. We are. Yeah, we oppose on that. Definitely. I mean, I wasn't a fan. I put her in the enemy category firmly on her apology.
Okay.
I was like, your apology is folly, because stick by what you're saying. And you're sticking by it, but you're apologizing. It's like,
but then that's
one or the other. And maybe that's age. She is young. I get it. She's getting her bag. She's a content creator. That's where it turns into being performative for me.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the grand scheme of things, do you stand on business? Do you actually mean what you're going to say? Are you going to back it? And if you're not, don't talk on it, because then it's like it is, as you guys have said, performative. If you really want to say I'm throwing my hat in the ring and I'm going to say this, then stand on business and go all the way, because then it is performative and you're just doing it for attention, or you weren't thinking. And that's the part that's dangerous, when you think you can say whatever you want about a community without thinking. We've spoken a lot about what's going on in Palestine, and then I'm not saying that we're the authority or we have any right to say anything about anything, but we do. But we stood on business on our opinions. As human beings, you can speak about what affects you, but stand on business then. Because there's going to be people that will be like, rah, what are you guys saying about the situation in Gaza? But we're standing on business of everyone's individual viewpoint. Charlie,
I think.
Who's your enemy, man?
Okay. All right. So, Pastor Tobi.
Hey.
Pastor Tobi is back on the enemy list because apparently it's being reported in the Daily Fail and quite a few other newspapers that he may be deported for fraud in certain circumstances, instead of going into all of it. But it's looking like there is a discrepancy of £1.87 million from SPAC Nation that is being tied to Pastor Tobi, and he may be deported for it as well. So he doesn't have UK citizenship. My problem is him, Pastor Tobi, but also within that is the Daily Mail decided to say the cousin of Star Wars star John Boyega, Tobi Adeboyega.
Don't forget the Nigerian bit they added as well. They added Nigerian into the title as
yes,
well.
as well. All the keywords. And that was their headline. Why does John Boyega need to be involved in this? As far as I know, he wasn't a part of SPAC Nation. No. But why can't you just talk about Pastor Tobi? Why are you involving this man and criminalising him as well? Because all of the keywords were used. And now when you're searching Pastor Tobi, John Boyega comes up in there as well. Disgusting. I was like, this is prime enemy of progress behaviour. What say ye?
Yeah, it is. I can't disagree with that at all. Like, it's out of order. It always reminds me of Jamelia. Like, these things. When Jamelia, like, basically every time one of her cousins got into trouble, it would be Jamelia's cousin, blah, 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 every single time. What has Jamelia done, please? Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, it's actually wild what they done to her. Like, seriously. And it's, it had a knock-on effect, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Yes, it would do. It would affect your career, because that's your search affiliation now.
Yeah.
With a criminal.
Yeah. And look, we know that newspapers and the rags, they do anything to grab attention. We know that. So... and it is what it is, but it just still doesn't make it right. It's just dirty behaviour. It's nasty. And they put all, as you said, all the keywords, John Boyega, Nigerian, really making sure immigrant, deportation, all the things for them to continue their right-wing agenda that we know the Daily Mail has. But
now, Pastor Tobi.
Yeah, man. Listen, he's long been my enemy of progress. I don't respect what he's done. There are people that still are backing him. And support him. And I'm just based on what I know of what has been reported, because I have never interacted with him, I've never met him, I haven't met anyone that went, actually, I think I know a few young people that said that they joined SPAC Nation or whatever. But I'm not a fan of materialist religion.
Yeah.
And using name brands to empower people and money and materialistic lifestyle being the forefront of a religion. I don't know. I didn't like the message that was being sold.
Yeah, I feel like, he needs to get gone. It's overdue, to be honest. You know what I mean? I feel like he is, and I know that, he hasn't had any like personal criminal charges at the moment, but I will say that it is alleged that what he runs is very similar to a cult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he has a propensity to attract young, vulnerable people, young, vulnerable black people. For that, he is a menace and he needs to be in the bin.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So the sooner he goes, the better. However, where he is going, probably Nigeria, is not... People are not going to be safe from him there either.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, really and truly, what they need to do is build a very good case and charge him with something. That's what needs to happen. So the public can be protected from this man.
I think that's the problem. It's the systems that he put in place. I remember there being, I don't know who exposed it, but that he actually ran from Nigeria to here.
Really?
So he had already done something similar there already. But he always does the tier system. So that's why they're not able to catch him properly. It's why they're trying to deport him. Because it's like there's so many layers of other pastors before it gets to him. But he spends a lot of the money. And that whole thing where it's people were being forced to take out loans. In effect, it was a pyramid scheme.
It was a pyramid
Yeah.
scheme.
You pay to be in this position, and then you're going to have 5 people under you, and as they're paying, you get a little bit more. But loads of people are taking out loans, and he's flossing in Ferraris, as he would say, offending in Fendi, and just doing all of this shit. I really do hate. Yeah, what is it? It's prosperity preaching.
Yeah. That's
I hate that so much, but it captures young people. It's really, really caught them. There were so many people that were like, shut up, he's not being deported on X, like defending him. Like, you don't know him. You don't know what he's done for me. You don't know what he does for the community. And that's what he says as well. I do so much for the UK community.
I haven't seen evidence of it. I mean...
he did that march recently.
I've seen a lot of young people come out and talk about the horrors of being in stagnation. Do you know what I mean? I've seen, like, what do you call it? One of the so-called pastors or group leaders be, do you know what I mean? Be accused of fraud and things like that. That's what I've seen.
The Mariam girl.
Yes, exactly.
Stealing from bare people.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's just like, well, I don't know. How are we weighing this up? Like, what good is this?
I don't like that, preying on young people,
know.
and that whole thing of getting them off the streets, but then just to then have them aspire to have material things. Then how do they stay off the streets if you're telling them that the only way to succeed is wear material, designers and stuff like that? It's a falsehood.
It's the worst form of like using Christianity. And you trap people in this loop. And it is a cult, really, because the people are diehard that are with him, and he's changed its name various times. It's like, it's not even SPAC Nation anymore. It's called something else.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I hope he leaves. But I agree. It's like, he doesn't need to be placed in another country. He needs to be in prison, is where he really needs to go. I hope somehow we get rid of him. But at least if he's off the streets over here. The thing with this is, though, there's always another pastor that comes along that is waiting to get these vulnerable young people. But I mean, as soon as he goes, that will be great. His lawyer has come out and is basically saying, I won't go through all of his diatribe, but basically he's saying he's not being deported for anything and the papers are lying. So let's see.
But in his speech that he said, these so-called pastors, you even told on yourself, because he put in quotes, so-called pastors. Exactly. That's exactly what we're saying, so-called pastors. You yourself said it as the lawyer. The comments are great. Like, what law school did you go to?
Giving false profit, mate.
Yes,
giving
100%.
that kind of energy. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
But 1.8 million is crazy.
And what they said, he resided in a 2.5 million mansion, owning luxury vehicles. And I don't care.
But
as a church leader, you do not need those things. You can't. It doesn't match up with Christianity.
But his downfall is that he courts publicity.
Hi, good evening. Let me pause this. I've heard a lot today, and I'm doing this because of our fans, our friends, people who are worried. I'm right here at home, no cause for alarm, and naturally I'll dismiss things that has to do with retrogression. Every Nigerian should be proud of me. Being in the UK, a city that is well known for pulling people down. I've survived all sorts. So the matter that they are propagating now is the smallest of matter. In Yoruba, they say, "Toba le ni bikon bikon dari si abilusi." No, what I'm trying to say is no panic. I love London City. It's my city, and nobody can do anything. Of all the people of color you know here, pastors and leaders, have survived everything. Now, let me talk about fraud case. They keep saying this. This is an advanced country. I'm speaking here openly, yeah? After all these years, have you ever heard someone goes to the parliament and make all sort of complaints? Someone from another race and another color. Nothing came out of it. So those who hate already. What you want to hear is not what you heard today. What you want to hear is they've arrested him for money, this, money, that. Not one criminal case, not one money case. You should all be proud of me and of the nation family.
Right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's not alone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like this is a major trend across
in the church.
a lot of churches.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they preach this and that they take a sizable amount of money
Yeah.
from their
Reflo, what's the white guy?
Do you know what I mean?
Big
From
white
their
guy.
people. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, even here in,
I mean,
in
it's
the
here,
UK,
but-
there
that's
is a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying.
them.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just that he wants to be the guy. He wants
Yeah.
to be, that's what it is. That's what's his downfall, really.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
and it's for me,
It's
like,
vanity.
How
I
do
know.
you manipulate the Bible? How do you guys contort yourself to believe this guy that's going against the rules of like materialism and it is vanity? All those things are sins. So why are you contorting yourself to believe what this man's saying just so you can be aligned
But
with it?
it depends how it's taught. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I get that.
You
I'm just
kind of
saying,
have
even
to
though it's
give
just-
the. What do you mean?
No, I know, I get that. I'm just saying that like, even people that are just there defending him and saying, yeah, but why would you? The guy is just mashing up the word of God, but yet you lot are just not even just the people who have been brainwashed by the cult of it all, but just people in, like just commenting and saying, yeah, nah, he's the truth or he's this, what he is. Da, 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 da. I don't think everyone's just been brainwashed by him or been manipulated
No,
into the church.
it's how it's preached. And then there is a culture of churches that actually have this, they find other passages that are talking about like literally in a similar fashion to beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's like, there are other passages that will be all the riches of the earth can come to you. So there's ways that they can sell it to you. That's the
always
thing of it.
That's the thing that's always bothered me because it doesn't make sense, doesn't correlate to me. That's why it's always been an issue.
I don't know how, if you were taught that this passage means this, how do you get to a point, unless you do a process of self-discovery, like, do you know what I mean? Like, how do you get to the other opinion? Do you know what I mean? You have to detach yourself from everything you know and still be okay with that and then come into a different form of understanding. That in itself is a process that most people don't go through in their lifetime.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So I don't think it's easy. And not to say that you're saying it's easy, but I just think it's very challenging to go outside what most people think is the norm.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And their community. Mm-hmm. You know, they build up their friendships, they find their partners
they will lose
there.
everything.
And I think that's what holds people in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he does. That whole thing of providing housing
Yeah.
for the young people, like you live in these blocks and you're in these mansions and you're going out and you're recruiting other people to come in. It is such a cult.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I really hope he does get deported. And I hope loads of the other ones get deported as well. And hopefully maybe they will do a cult commission one day. And when people leave, there actually will be an arm of the law that they can go to and it can really be investigated before it destroys thousands of people's lives.
Yeah. And I do think it's because it's like black people that they don't care, that they're not acting the way that they should act, because this has been going on for years.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's probably, I can't even imagine how many people have been damaged by this organisation. And it's terrible, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, more needs to be done. Okay, my enemy of progress, potentially, is
this an on the fencer?
It's on the fence, you know.
I don't know why I like on the fences. Okay, cool.
Is the current president still Joe Biden? Is he an enemy of progress? I know normally people would just throw him in the bin anyway, but I was thinking like, maybe not in this situation, because he has decided in his last few days of months. No, it's weeks now, isn't it? Weeks,
for real, yeah.
Weeks of presidency, that he is going to pardon his son, Hunter Biden, who's had some tax evasion, a little bit of gun crime. Not a little bit, I'm not, sorry. I'm just being entertaining for the purposes of the... a little base sprinkle, salt-based sprinkling of gun crime. Obviously, some of these things are quite heinous and all that kind of stuff. So, do you know what I mean? Like, not taking away from the seriousness of it. But he's decided to pardon his son. And some people are completely outraged. They are outraged and they're saying that the Democrats have lost all credibility. How could Joe do this and blah, 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 and all this stuff? And I just thought, it's his son. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't think, maybe I'm kind of leaning towards, I don't think he's an enemy. What do you guys think?
Enemy behaviour, because you're just basically throwing your weight around and abusing your power. And it's hypocritical to the words that you ran on to say you would never do this, and pointing the finger very much at Trump and his cronies. However, I'll do the same. There's no way I'm leaving my child up to the incoming who's going to go and put all the bricks on top of my child. So let me do my thing. And I think it is one middle finger. Yeah, I'm going to take you thought you were going to get my son. No, you're not.
Absolutely
not.
But
what you should do as well is pardon all the others, especially those who are caught up in the kind of weed drug laws and all that type of thing. Do something nice along with pardoning your son. You're going to do that, then make it nice by pardoning a bunch of others as well before you leave.
Okay, fair. It is enemy behavior, because and this is a thing with the Democrats. You ran on like you are the moral fiber, and Trump would be the end of America, but you're doing things that Trump would do. Trump would never have any of his kids, other than probably Tiffany, allegedly, go to prison. Like, he would pardon all of his children. So. No, it's not okay. And you said you wouldn't do this. I feel like he's doing it because he basically had a coup taken place on him, and they took him out and put Kamala there. So I think that's why he's like, I'm not sticking by anything with these Democrats. I'm going to go against it because I don't care. To hell with you all. And that's still enemy behavior. All round, I think he's an enemy of progress. He was never not going to be an enemy.
So if, let's say hypothetically, that you got into, actually, because you want to get into politics, you get into politics, somehow you're just like, oh, where have I found myself? I'm the president. Oh my God, amazing. Yeah. And then Russ is just like, okay, this is great for you. Doesn't do a little bit of skullduggery behind your back. You find out about it. You're on your way out of your term. Yeah. And you have an opportunity, and your chief of staff is just like, ma'am, you could pardon your husband. Are you going to do it?
If they did a Joe on me, I'm doing it.
But even if they didn't.
If they didn't do a Joe.
No, if I'm sticking by my morals as to what I campaigned on and why I'm there, like I'm truly not I'm truly not doing politics. I'm doing this as service to the people. I wouldn't.
So Russ is just looking at you like,
I'm not pardoning you, because then that undoes all of my integrity.
I think, go on.
So I'm not doing it.
The thing is, for me, like, no, my thing.
I don't believe you.
You gotta go prison.
For the records,
you gotta
I don't believe no. I don't believe that.
For me, it'll be a case by case crime, because
What's the case by case?
basically...
Okay, so you're the president, yeah?
I'm the president.
You're the president, and your chief of staff runs up to you. It's just like, Amma. Amma's
gonna go down.
Amma's been dealing in what do you call it, arms for the Middle East.
Oh, wow.
It's extreme.
Basically, was what Hunter was.
That's what he was.
That's what he's been
He's a
accused
drug addict.
of.
I was trying to go down.
Okay,
the
no,
drug addict.
Okay.
not that she was. I would
No, not my child. It's all hypothetical. Not this
Hypothetical.
fictional one that I didn't
She's
have.
been dealing with things.
Yeah, this is a child that's called Sabrina.
Sabrina. Yeah, okay. Your child Sabrina has been dealing with war crimes. She's been committing war crimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're just like, yeah,
okay.
madam, do you want to? You can pardon her.
How far gone is she? There's got to be a conversation about where is she in life? Like, what? Why did you do this? How much do I know? Because how long has she been dealing arms? Me in my seat as a president, and I haven't been able to sort her out.
No,
So
no,
there
no.
has
It's
to be-
come out. It's come out.
I'm
She's been
finding out at the same
convicted.
time.
She's going to be getting charged, right?
So I didn't know the whole time.
You did. You may or not
this is what
known.
I'm saying. So
The
if I'm-
public thinks that you knew.
Yeah.
The public.
That's
thinks
what
you
I'm
knew.
saying. So
yeah.
if I knew,
Yeah.
and then I'm pardoning her because I knew. What am I doing? Then
Okay.
my morals already compromised. If I didn't know, surprise, that's what I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And all this time I've been running on integrity and morals and saving the world. You come to embarrass me. Charlie, I might say you might. No, you're not going to jail. But you're going to get punished in some way, shape, or
You're
form.
like gonna go to a nice jail, isn't it? Like the halfway house places.
Yeah, that's what I'm
gonna say-
saying.
wait.
If it's a half,
But I'm not pardoning you because then I've lost my integrity.
Okay,
But
what
actually
if
you're
it's,
coming
what
out
if
to
it's one of your sons? Same.
Yeah, if I'm only if they do
I
a Joe
don't
on me.
believe you.
But if you and the thing is with Joe Biden, the evidence is there. He was definitely complicit in all of this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm only saying I'm going to follow the letter of the law if I've been following the letter of the law. If I too am a shady shit like he is, then I'm going to pardon my son and all of his cronies.
I think that makes it easy. Like, yeah.
That's why he's an enemy of
It makes it
progress,
easy
because
when
he's
it's
a
like that.
shady shit too.
But if you're moralistic, you're just going to be like, no, I cannot. But also, you're on the way out. So it might be like, I'm tired. You know, Obama was fine, then grey at the end of it. So like he's like, no, I'm tired. Just tell her, let's go. And then figure it out afterwards. So there could be that. Because you're out, you're going to go on your consultancy tour.
Okay, that is fair. Now, if I'm Joe's old, like, I don't even know where I am most of the time, I'm pardoning you because I'm lucky if I'm here for another decade. So it's cool, innit? I don't care. Now, if I was Obama, I'm not pardoning any of my daughters because I've still got like a good 30 years in me. So I have to run on my integrity. Yeah. But you're not going like Rikers. You're going to go to like one of those.
Well, you
halfway
don't.
house type
The thing is, you don't
Valley
even
Home.
know because once Trump comes into power, because I feel like the Hunter thing went as far as it did because it was pushed by Trump. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he wanted to make an example of him. So Joe kind of had no option but to pardon him because Trump is going to make it worse.
And
He's going to
got
make.
the Supreme Court.
Yeah, exactly. He's got everything.
Yeah.
He's got all departments in his favour. So, yeah. But for me personally, I don't even need any of that. I'm pardoning you. If I'm in a position of power, of course I am. And I'm smiling. Actually, I'm telling the press, yes, I'm pardoning my son. Of course. Do you know what I mean?
I think
there
I
ain't no
definitely-
way. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I believe in nepotism, especially for black people. especially for us.
Listen, it is that. And I'm just going to play like guys who wouldn't you? And then everyone will be like, yeah, you know what, it is what it is.
You're
whether
flesh
there's
and
so
blood.
much- Oh, yeah.
But he shouldn't have ran on that I wouldn't pardon him.
It doesn't matter.
He
It
should-
actually
it was
doesn't
very
matter.
close.
All
You know what?
politicians lie.
That's
We
the thing,
know
it's like,
we
it's like-
know that they lie anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like he's done other shit that he hasn't been honest about. Of course, he's not going to be honest about this. He was trying to get votes.
But he, to be fair, really shouldn't have. He just said, it's true. What could he say? But he shouldn't have said it. I don't know what he could have said. He could have like, I'm not talking on that.
No, he can
Let's
say
speak
what
on
he
the
wants.
facts.
Yeah.
They deflect. Politicians can deflect. It is ridiculous that you were like, I'm not going to. And you said it more than once. Not like once off and say, oh, it was a moment. You said it multiple times that I'm not going to pardon my son. Then you pardon your son. It just undermines
He
everything.
campaigned on it.
To think that he wouldn't pardon his son,
It's
to
also
me,
wild.
is madness.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, seriously.
No.
To even take it as like he was being serious in those moments, absolutely not. Like, if Trump was in the same position, of course he's
But
going
he
to do
wouldn't even
exactly
say
the
that
same
he's not
thing.
going to. That's the duplicitous state of the Democrats, where it's like you can't say what they say seriously.
Of course not.
To then be like, this man is the enemy of the world, when you guys will be like, we are the moral fibre. I'm not going to pardon my son. If he's done something wrong, I don't think he has to face the letter of the Lord. No, I pardon him. Come on now.
They're all
Why is
politicians.
anybody going to trust anything that you guys say? And then at the same time, it's like, truly, is Trump as bad as you could have been just as bad? It's like, when can we trust your word
we
if you
can't.
can't stick with simple foundational bits that you say yourself?
Listen, no one cares, so he's gone. Like, do you know what I mean? He's on his way out.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, Joe, as you're pardoning your son, you better pardon a bunch of black folks that don't need to be in jail.
They don't care about black people in it.
I understand.
I think he
That
did
would
appoint
be-
like a good number, like 100 judges or something. Like, it's crazy, like a large amount or something like that. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't blame him for pardoning his son. I would pardon my son. I would pardon a friend. Like, do you know what I mean?
Hunter is
I'll
a liability.
Hunter is a
pardon
liability.
fee.
But what would you, okay, so Hunter's now free and pardoned. He's
Yeah.
out in these streets. What would you do as the parent? I mean,
What can you do?
He's a big ass man.
First of all, Joe's dying.
was about
Yeah,
to-
let's be real.
about
Like,
to
do you know
say,
what I mean? What can he
where's
do?
the wife?
What can he do?
How's Jill doing?
Jill's being quiet as she should, because when she speaks, it's always problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, when those basketball girls won, she was like, invite them both for what? For what?
She's
Foolishness.
basically a right winger, you know. That's why Jill weren't doing like Michelle stuff, because she would have
Just
ballsed it
keep
up
it-
like millennia. Like,
Just keep quiet.
Don't talk.
Honestly, she's
All right,
problematic.
Hunter, look, you've been given a chance. It's gonna go. This is so.
He's gonna do it again.
yes,
He's gonna go wild.
he's nutty. He's a wild boy.
What he do? Oh God.
All right. Well, it's a sticky one still. Serena Williams is causing a kerfuffle on the internet, and people. I'm handing over it to the people and to you guys. Do you think Serena Williams is an enemy of progress? Because recently she shared a video of her husband and her talking about being involved in their daughter's play, and the sun is beaming on her, and she looks a lot lighter than we know Serena Williams to be. So people started to comment and say, girl, are you on that bleaching cream and stuff like that? A lot of comments about her looks, and she's been getting a lot of comments about her looks. And but to the point, and usually she keeps it cute, she doesn't respond. But this time something pissed off Sister Serena, and she took to the internet to say,
And no, for you haters out there, I do not bleach my skin. There is a thing called sunlight. And in that sunlight, you get different colors. And if I'm not posting and recorrecting my pictures and posting from my daughter's, what is it? She had a play that I was volunteering on and had stage makeup on. Yes, I'm calling you out on this because it is ridiculous that everyone's like, oh, she bleached her skin. I'm a dark Black woman and I love who I am and I love how I look. And that's just not my thing. And if people do it, that's their thing and they have every opportunity and they should. I don't judge. But you guys do. But that's what this world is about. And I stay in my lane, the non-judgy one, and I keep it. But no, I actually don't bleach my skin. So can we just like kind of clear that up? Okay, so.
but people are like, girl, we don't believe you. You need more people. Is the internet bullying Serena, or is Serena lying to us? Is she an enemy, or is it the internet? Should we leave her alone? And I think that whenever people are talking about it, there's like a respectful commentary. There are some people that take it too far, but there seems like to be a dance around Serena as well, that no one wants to insult this bad girl, superstar,
Because she is
supersonic
such
sportswoman,
an icon.
an icon. How do you feel?
I feel like Serena's face has changed.
It was talking about bleaching.
To me, it's a bit of a combo of both. I feel like her shade seems to be different, and her face is different, and I can't quite place what it is. So I understand the constant speculation. Is she bleaching? Is she doing too much surgery? It's like, there's an honest, like, what's going on with the woman that we all thought we knew, and we knew what her face looked like. What's happening? I think that's the discourse that is happening now. Again, is it any of our business? No. In the totality of it, it's not. But it's still a little bit disconcerting when you do continuously have people that you've been looking up to and their faces keep on changing. So I think, I don't know. I don't know if this is enemy. I just want to know what's going on, like what's happened. So I understand the speculation. Is she bleaching? I understand it.
Well, she did say in that video where she was like talking about it, while she was actually doing her makeup, because she has a makeup line called Win. That video where she was with her husband, they were in makeup. They were in pantomime makeup. So that wasn't like her normal foundation, her skin, blah, 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 this, that, the other kind of thing. So of course she's going to look lighter because she was wearing makeup in this thing. I don't know, man. I think people need to mind their business. Like, I just feel like she doesn't look that different to me personally, but like, I mean, skin tone wise, do you know what I mean? I think she's had a bit of surgery. Am I interested in that? Mildly, not really too deep. I think like, you know, from a makeup perspective, like I was thinking when I first saw the first video, like, did she use the right tone? I don't jump to bleaching. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just like, maybe she's wearing the wrong shade. Do you know what I mean? She's not shade matched herself properly or whatever kind of thing. But I'm not jumping to bleaching. I think from what we know about Serena and her upbringing and her family, that they are proud Black people. Do you know what I mean? I don't get the whole kind of thing, I hate my skin color, I hate that kind of thing, that mentality. We haven't been served that, really. Do you know what I mean? So maybe if there's stuff going on, maybe, but I just don't buy the bleaching aspect of it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the video. I was drawn to her arms, and I was like, oh, she looks really light. And then when she gave her explanation, I was like, okay. And looking at subsequent pictures of her, I was like, her skin tone looks the same. But that video did throw me. But I also understand the pressures that Serena has been under for being in the public eye from a young girl, and people always commenting on her looks, her appearance, her body. So if she is from bleaching to tweaking and, you know, visual enhancements or adjustments, I understand where that pressure has come from if she has felt the need to do that, because she has been under intense scrutiny since a child. And I can imagine the knock-on effect that has had. And it isn't our business, but it also, we are very protective, maybe a bit too much so, on people who we feel are our icons, our representatives. She represents, especially as a dark-skinned woman that's come in the public eye, she's a lot of our kind of heroes and her, like, you know, like, she's done amazing. We want her to be happy. We want her to continue to represent us in all aspects, which is unfair pressure for someone who just wants to live their life and carry on and just be girly, do makeup and have fun with her children and her husband. So, yeah, it's none of our business, but it's our business because when you're a celebrity, it is what it is, and that's what comes with it. But everyone should take care and be mindful. And that applies to everyone. And I think, thankfully, someone like Serena, there's still an element of respect and kind of considered critique, even though it's not nice. And she probably would like, you guys just leave me the fuck alone. But at least there's a little bit of reverence I see than is afforded other people who get a lot more, like, what the F have you done to your face, and da-da-da-da-da, and a lot more critique. So
Definitely does get that a bit in the comments, but not spoken about really properly on, let's say, like lots of different platforms.
Yeah.
People are respectful of her. I understand it. I'm glad that she actually did come out and was just like, I'm not bleaching, guys. I think even whatever the skin process is, I'm thinking of like Charlemagne when he clearly was going through, but 1 minute we saw him, he was dark and then he was lighter. That he also was taking the time to say, I'm trying to sort out my skin.
Yes.
I think I appreciate people talking about the journey and what they're doing, because sometimes it does feel like one celebrity is this way, and then before you know it, they are beige. And it's like, no, this does a lot of damage. And also, whatever you're doing, you are a product to people as well. You need the reciprocal energy from both of us. And if what you're doing to yourself then damages a lot of the normal people's perception of themselves, you can be held account.
Yeah, I think my sensitivity is always on celebrities who adjust their noses, because I know that's a thing in the black community. So, and in that unspoken thing, I get it. I get it's also difficult to say, yeah, I'm going to straighten my nose because society doesn't really like or respect a rounder nose. But that's always, when I notice it on people, that, especially the women that I think are beautiful and stuff like that, it's always a little bit of a, to me, because I've got my round nose, and I know that's a weakness that if I was to succumb to all my insecurities, I'd probably straighten my nose. I've never had a skin tone problem, but it would be the first thing I might think, okay, maybe I'll be seen as more beautiful if my nose was straighter. So when I see other women do it, it's just like, I have to kind of like, it's okay, your nose is okay. And I've never even hated my nose, but just I know how society views a rounder black nose than they do a straighter one.
Again, on the fence with this enemy of progress. There's this young boy, yeah, who was shipped in a kind of like culture term, shipped to a country, or maybe his parents' country in Africa, because his parents thought that he was kind of close to getting involved in gun violence, or gang violence, sorry, I should say, or gang culture in the UK. And he was shipped to go to boarding school in Africa. And he has decided to sue his parents for doing this, you know? And I won't go into too much detail, yeah, but his lawyers are basically arguing that he was abandoned by his parents in this boarding school, yeah, which that sentence alone just is confusing to me, because you're abandoned by your parents in a boarding school. Okay.
Was he paying for his own boarding school?
I don't know. I don't know how it's paying.
Not have a room next
But he
to
went to the consulate or something kind of thing to kind of like get the British, the British lawyers to kind of back him on this and everything like that. And they're suing his parents and saying that, you know, the parents were basically overreacting to his involvement in this, alleged gang culture. I keep on saying gang culture and stuff, and that they shouldn't have left him there, and they might, if he's successful, be criminally charged and all this kind of stuff. Wow. What do you think about this? As we are, firstborn in this country, I'm assuming at least one of us in this room was threatened with being sent at one point.
I was never threatened.
Okay. Well, I was anyway, so that's me. But yeah, so like, how do you feel about this? Do you think this child is doing too much, bearing in mind they're 13? Or did the parents do too much? And should parents moving forward be scared and aware that this is a potential problem?
Definitely, yes.
Yes, you gotta be scared 100%. That this is a thing, because I can't imagine. I have a few cousins that have been sent. Mm-hmm. If I was the parents and my child had done this, I'm now scared of my child.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, we probably did the right thing. Probably saw something in their boy why they were like, he needs to go boarding school. But that he had the wherewithal to go to the British consulate to actually then have them provide lawyers to now prosecute us for basically probably trying to keep the streets of the UK safe, is it's wild. So where's he going to live when he comes? What's he going to do? Come to UK care?
Absolutely not.
Like, who's looking after him? And then when he does his shit, and then you're going to be like, what happened to the parents? They tried to sort him out. This is a scary situation. I don't know. No, he was in a boarding school. They were paying for the fees. You can't call this like abandonment. You know what this shit is. Unless there is evidence of abuse in the boarding school, then I will change my position on it. If there's no evidence of abuse, I don't think these parents should be prosecuted in any way, shape or form.
How would the parents know?
About the abuse?
Yeah, they wouldn't know. Like, they could not know that there's abuse in a boarding school.
that would be the only reason why I would think that the lawyers should be taking up the case that the boy had been telling the parents what's going on, and then you're like, okay, you neglected your child there. That's my only caveat to it.
Yeah, I think that's what the expansion and what that's fair. I think parents need to be really scared. I know that sending back home hasn't always been successful for some people, because some people have felt abandoned, have felt like, even regardless if they've gone to a boarding school, they felt detached from their families. And there's also, if he was kind of susceptible to, or seemingly susceptible to gang recruitment and stuff like that, what's going on in him? What were the steps taken to really understand his situation and how he felt? And we're not used to that kind of a level of kind of, let's have a discussion. When parents have got stuff to do, working and trying to keep it all together, and assuming that's the situation he's in, they might not have had the time to sit down and have a conversation like, what are the other things that we can do before being shipped home? Sometimes, because that's a traditionally comfortable reaction to when the kids are going wayward, you're being sent home. Parents don't think about anything else than you're just going home. Some people don't. So I wonder in those instances where parents need to take a few more steps before that is the end goal. So that's a way of protecting yourself. It's a very scary one, because it's been so long that, yeah, you're going to get shipped home. It is what it is. Do your due diligence on where you're sending your child to, I guess, and research the school. I don't know. I think this boy he's 13, so even if he thinks he's got one up on his parents, if the situation at home is like, you just got pissed off because your parents sent you back, you're a very naughty boy, and you don't understand what you're doing. You're not really understanding the magnitude of what you're doing and what the consequences could be if your parents are charged with this as criminals.
Yeah,
it's wild. It's a lot.
I just think, no, I do think it's absolutely wild. I think you know what, I blame the British lawyers for even taking this seriously. Do you know what I mean? This was the wrong approach. Speak to the parents, find out what's going on, do some more investigation before you take the legal route. This is insane.
They just listen to the boy and that's it, and no communication.
I don't know.
Okay,
we don't know that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, from my point of view, that's what you need to do. Taking it down this legal route is insane, because the thing is, if Stacey gets sent to a boarding school in Switzerland and she calls the British consulate, is this going to be the same reaction? I think fucking so. Not.
Very true.
Do you know what I mean?
Not.
Very true.
So
not the reaction.
What are we talking about?
And that happens all the time.
And it's not like they're going to like those American boot camps. It's not like that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not conversion therapy. It's not anything like that. You're going to a boarding school. Usually, to be honest, the boarding schools in Africa are much better than the boarding schools in
just
schools here, boarding schools here, everything. Do you know what I mean? Because you get international. It's just insane, the level of privilege. That you have to possess to go through this and do this is insane to me as well.
It's great for 13-year-olds.
It's insane.
This is like when Childline was introduced, and we were like,
this is the thing.
We're gonna,
this is
we were gonna
it.
call Childline on your parents. We were scared to do that. The one or two that might have tried it, and then like, I
called Childline. You what? Nothing happened.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing freaking happened,
I
man.
remember people saying afterwards, when it was kind of like nobody was calling Childline anymore. It's like, I called Childline. Nothing takes place.
Nothing happened. I tell you, I've run away from home so many times, and I'll be walking the streets, I'll get bored, I'll think, okay, cool, let me call Childline. I'll talk to this is how many times I did it, because I had a process. I'll talk to them for a bit, do you know what I mean, talking, and then I'll just see the police car, because
to take you back home.
Yes. Yeah. Freaking ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Usually they will take me to the police station for my parents to come and pick me up, and then they refuse.
So they're like, you just got to bring her. We're not even coming, or she's staying there. Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
So I was just like, nah, this don't work. This don't work anymore.
I would love to know where this boy's head is at, what happened and why he felt to go this route.
The thing is, there's no discipline here. There's absolutely no discipline. Not saying that you should, but there's less and less methods for parents to be able to manage their children, especially when they're going wayward. There's less and less things to do. This is one thing that can be very effective in changing the trajectory of your child. And I think it's a bit of a conspiracy as well, because they need a school to prison pipeline. And if these people, if middle classes are sending their children to boarding schools, then they're reducing the numbers, is it not? So it's just like,
And
I don't like this.
There is a lack of, and that's what it's like from the beginning stages. There's a lack of support for parents who might not understand how to like stop the children being attracted to these things. And
You can't
stop your child.
You can't.
No, that's what I'm
Do you know
saying,
what I mean?
like,
But
it's
this is the thing. It's like you go, like, I hear what you're saying, but it's like that kind of way of talking about it assumes that the parents have the ability to control it. They don't.
No, I'm talking
they
about the fact
absolutely
that
don't.
I'm speaking to what you're saying, that there's no resources, there's no like means of support for parents who are even suspecting that. So that's why it's like, well, let me send them out of this, get them out of the country.
Yes.
Imagine that your option
But it's a
is
last
out of-
resort.
no, I
Yeah.
get it. But I'm just saying, but because there's no other way of support or means of support, your option is send them out of the country. When ideally, let's fix the situation at home, but you don't have the support. I'm kind of echoing that.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
But now you don't even have that methodology.
No, and now
So what are you
they're
gonna
taking
do?
that away
This is
from
gonna
you.
spread.
Yeah.
There are little rotters out there
Yeah,
now. Like, oh
be
my
like-
God, all I got to do is just try and figure out my way to get to the British consulate. I've got my story going on. This is how it is. And then I'm going to be able to come back. And also they know. So if what they don't know is when you come back and then you're in the care system here,
Exactly.
now what you're going to do?
Now what?
Now what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Because all the statistics are there. You're likely to end up in prison.
Exactly.
So what are you going to do? 13-year-old, you're now thinking you're big and bad with these people
I've got your back,
doing
all the
all
attention,
cases for you. And it's like, okay, now, when you're in a group home, how are you going to handle that?
Exactly.
Let's see how big and bad you are there. Like, no, this is wild. I agree. I think it is a sinister plot to stop people from actually removing their children so that they don't end up in prison. And now, it's for the vultures.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a wild thing. He's definitely, him and his backers and the lawyers, they're all enemies of progress.
Honestly.
Like, relax.
Indeed.
I feel for the parents.
I think he was being suspended, criminal activities, photographs of knives on his phone.
This is when I was, and there were some people in the comments talking about it. Maybe they know of the family or loosely know of the case. And I was like, by all intents and purposes, he was going down a path to. I think he'd even come out of school anyway, was in a Peru. Like, so you're going on the trajectory. They are trying to save you because you're still young, innit? You're 13, you're hopeful.
You're clearly
savable.
smart.
Yeah,
Why you were
exactly.
sent to a boarding school and not the village in the first place.
Because they knew
He's actually lucky.
he
Do you
would
know
be
what I
out of
mean?
there.
And also, do you know what?
Exactly.
That's another thing. Like, change that, like, remove them from the schools. When they get shipped to villages and you got no phone,
This is what I'm saying. What are you going to do
what are
then?
you going to do then?
What are you
in
gonna
the
do?
depths of the dark of the village at the back.
The boy is...
He's
You
listen.
know
Oi.
his parents are there like, what's
fuming.
going on?
Imagine that.
They're just like, God, why me?
Exactly.
Like, seriously. Why me?
Asking all the questions.
Why?
No, seriously, what did I do?
Imagine, you're trying to save him and then he's bringing the law to your
Exactly.
door.
That's the thing.
Oh, my
All
word.
those lectures are coming back that just for
That's
me doing
it.
minor things.
Can you even divorce your child?
Oh,
Is that even a thing?
I think you
Because it's the other way
The other
around.
way
isn't it?
round.
Yeah.
But as a parent, you
Can you
can't be like,
divorce
I
the
relinquish
child?
all of my...
Wait, if that was they came back, nah, I'm done. What do you mean? I'm so done. I'm so
They
done.
could do that though.
Seriously.
If you are allowed, the parents could be like, you know what, actually,
yeah.
let's have him.
Yeah.
You cannot emancipate from your child, but I might.
Jeez.
No, sorry.
But they can do it the other way around.
That's crazy. I would encourage.
Because this is a lot,
It is.
Imagine the fees that you've been paying and now they're coming to prosecute you.
Exactly.
Guys,
to
just
save
for the
your
record,
child.
I'm just going to do a search. I do not mean it. Why can't I emancipate?
At least you got it on record. So come knocking. It was for the podcast.
I wasn't just looking.
Baby girl, I don't ever want you to leave me. I promise. It's just not
my
having it.
word,
Won't even
no.
let me reverse
No,
engineer.
no,
Really?
this child is a
It's like,
lot,
no,
you
no,
know.
no.
Oh, God,
This is what I'm
it's
saying.
a lot. It's a lot.
This
Oh, that's it. What if I
I can't lie. There are a couple of times a day I'm just like, thank God I don't have kids. This was one of them. I was just like, can you imagine?
All we can do is consensual adoption, voluntary foster care. You can talk to your health visitor, visit the family. Okay, this is okay. Let's do
Okay, so
serious
you
advice.
can actually.
So if
do
you're
that.
struggling with your child's behaviour, you can talk to your health visitor for support and strategies. Visit the Family Lives website. Call the Family Lives Parent Helpline 0808 800 2222. That's one such. That's a first Google search. I'm sure there's other numbers and other ways. So there are obviously places you can go to. How effective they are when we look at the government and how they treat resources for charitable situations. We
No,
don't know
it's
how
long.
effective they are.
It's long, and this was
a
a
long
means
process.
to an end when
Yeah.
you could, and it's a privileged position to be able to send your child to a boarding school anyway.
Exactly.
This is out of order.
I would love to, because the amount of books I've read where the little Timmy and Stacey, as you said, were sent to a boarding school out of the way, and then nothing happens to them. That was your aunties could never. Thank you for being with us. If you sign up to our membership, we've got a very exclusive interview with wonderful Mimi, the music blogger. So check that out. What else we got? Remember, guys, to buy your tickets to
Kempire After Dark Live.
with.
But yes, with LABRISH, Nana and I are going to be live with Kempire on his show in London on the 8th of December at Neon 194. So be there.
Thank you, Lush. Thank you so much, Lush, for our wonderful Lush products. We will be back to tell you how lush they were on our bodies.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's our show. Keep safe and enemy free. Lots of love, hugs, and good vibes from your favourite
Aunties.
Bye, guys.